Hey, welcome to the All Systems Go Home podcast experience. We're running on fumes here, but that's okay. I think we burned a lot of bridges last time with the whole Batman thing. We're just going to move past it and never speak of it again. I'm Jeremy Farbman. We've also got Darian Bolin here.
Hello, hello, hello.
We've got Nicole Jones here.
Hello.
And we've got Corey McGinnis. Let's give him a big round of applause, folks.
Haven't even said anything yet.
He's so eloquent. Guys, I think we're winding down this season of the All Systems Go Home show because, pretty soon people are going back to campus. We have to start on the real show. So what I want to know is, because things have been so crazy, and they're always crazy, but is there anything left in the year that you feel like you want to accomplish before it's done? Any personal goals you have for the rest of 2020?
Get an internship.
Get an internship. Great. I'm just finishing mine up. Nicole, where are you thinking? Where are we targeting for your internships?
I don't know. Listen, these are questions that I'm not ready to answer yet.
Are you on the listserv?
I am.
Wow. You're doing it right. You'll find something. It's okay.
Well, we got one today, and I said, I don't think this newspaper is for me.
Yeah, whenever it's like, this one's in Cleveland, it's like, I don't know anything about Cleveland, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Corey, how are you doing? What's on your mind for stuff you still have to get off your plate?
Well, my plate is mostly just don't fail anything this coming semester.
Yeah.
Because it's super unfortunate going into senior year.
Yeah, I feel the same way because I honestly feel like this coming semester, not to keep talking about myself, but it'll probably be the most challenging semester ever for me. But
Yeah, you're a big producer now.
yeah, as well as just a lot of classes where I have to do a lot of writing. But I'm kind of looking forward to it in a weird way. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be like a photo finish almost. Kind of dramatic.
Iconic.
We'll see. Maybe this will age really badly, and we'll be like, "Oh no, he crashed and burned." Darian, what are we? Same question to you. Is there anything you feel like you need to do, or are you just loving your life as it is?
Well, first of all, I never love my life, no matter how it is. But my main goal right now is to get my driver's license.
Oh
good.
wow,
Yes.
I just got mine.
who was that?
I-
Anyway,
That was wow. Okay.
Did you guys hear something?
hold on. I have him turned down from last time.
Yeah, I'm on an actual laptop this time, so I should
Oh.
sound
Ooh.
Well,
better.
I mean, it's debatable, but hey.
Same mic, but I'll get there eventually.
All right. Well, if only there was someone here who could talk about wanting to watch all the Power Rangers episodes because, I feel like we were really missing that.
No, I miss Kyle. I wish you were here right now.
He's
Damn.
in a better place now.
Anyway, so comic books, am I right?
I know.
No, but I didn't mean to spoil Darian's thing, Darian. If you wanted to continue talking.
Oh no,
about it.
please continue.
But yeah, Power Rangers. It's been a while since I've had a Power Rangers update. Just
I
'cause-
like how that was like my joke as Kyle's life goal, and he's like, "No, that really is it. That's my life goal."
Just to watch Power Rangers.
It is.
It's more like that's my primary focus, not a goal. As in, I
It's
have
his
been watching.
focus. His goal is to finish.
So, I have been doing this since what, March? It's August now. I've watched nothing except YouTube and Power Rangers. I love Power Rangers. It's a very fun show, and it was campy and over the top, and it was built for someone like me. But I want to watch something else. I really do.
Like all the Muppets.
I've been
like
Don't-
all
don't you put that on
45.
me.
Wait, no, it's like 51 seasons of Sesame Street. Go
I
ahead.
was like, Sesame Street is better.
Jeremy. I love Sesame Street. Don't put that out there. I would do it.
I don't think it's all archived. I think some of it is lost media.
That kind of sucks. There has to be, right?
I feel
Well,
like there's-
I mean, they
should
made
really
like
find something.
100 episodes a year for 50 years. And when we started making that stuff in like the 60s and 70s, where they were way more lax about that stuff.
Just
And
watch
like,
the important episodes where Big Bird finds out about death, and that still makes me cry to this day.
oh yeah, that's a rough one to get through.
I don't remember
But
that one, but this sounds
Neither
very
do
strange
I.
out of context.
I will put that clip in chat when I'm done. But anyway, back to Power Rangers. So I finished RPM uh earlier this week, and I watched it in smaller chunks than I had before. And for better or for worse, but RPM would have been the perfect send off to Power Rangers. And now I haven't finished the other seasons, but my expectations aren't as high. RPM was supposed to be the last season of Power Rangers. Disney was no longer. They were no longer producing the show. They had sold the rights. They just didn't want to do it anymore. And they're like, the writers and everyone involved was like, let's go big. Go big or go home. Let's have all the fun we wanted to do. Let's be self-aware in all of our humor. And it is everything I want in the Power Rangers season. The problem is, it's all the best parts, but done slightly. But they're all the best parts of every season. But the first time they were done was better than this one. So it is good, and it has all the makings, like all the great storylines you've seen in the past, all the great action. RPM doesn't do it as well as the others. And because it relies so much on this legacy of Power Rangers, it doesn't have something to call its own.
Kyle, this might be like a analogy that falls flat, but I was just when you were saying that, it reminded me a lot of Metal Gear Solid 4. All right, crickets. That's cool, but yeah, it's sort of the same thing. They just like, hey, remember this thing from the other game? We're gonna pull it all together. We're gonna end it big, and then they just kept going after that, and it was like, okay,
I think what I had an analogy for it. Star Wars, I guess, is the same way, where it does great things, with the exception of Last Jedi, trying so many things new. Uh,
Not
but
true.
that's a discussion for another time, Nicole.
that's a veto.
Um, but I will say this. Uh, the only the only thing that RPM does better, and I'm not saying it's bad. Again, it's still really really good. It's honorable mention if I had to do a top five. Uh, RPM's mentor is I think the best we've ever seen in Power Rangers thus far. Just because she has such a unique backstory that changes how she relates to all of the Rangers individually as well as the villain. And I think there's an episode titled Dr. K, hence the name of the mentor, that is the single greatest episode of Power Rangers and is one of the greatest episodes of television ever. It goes into her backstory, what her character motivations are, has a great climactic ending. It will try. You're old enough. It came this close to making me cry, and it is really good. Really, really good. So I recommend watching, if you're a Power Rangers fan, watching just that episode.
I have a
It's
question.
so good. Yes?
When did this season come out? Like what year, I mean?
This came
Approximately.
out. It has been a while. Let me see. Oh, I'm still on caps lock. That's great.
2009.
Thank you. I should have known that. Yeah, so this came out in 2009, and like I said, this is supposed to be the end of Power Rangers, and really, it was only a 2-year gap. Felt like so much longer. But the next season didn't come out. It was the first time, like, since the inception of the show that there was a year without Power Rangers, just because it was rebought. Because Power Rangers, like I said, was sold. All the property was sold back to Saban Entertainment. Once they were bought out by Disney, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna make a show. Go back to its roots." And not to spoil my reviews in the next one, they go too far forward with, "Hey, let's adapt the Sentai. Let's like use as much footage as we can." And it's instead of doing something original, it's just a carbon copy of something from a different country, and it just doesn't translate well to Power Rangers. But RPM is great.
Power Rangers
Um,
Eurovision.
I don't know how I feel about that because I really like watching Eurovision highlights, but here we are. No, Power
Uh,
Rangers so good.
does anyone have anything like one season they can recommend to Kyle? Just be like a quick one and done.
Like shows I need to watch. Like I
Just
have a
like
list.
Out
a
of
palate
nowhere?
cleanser. Just be like, hey, you just watched 35 seasons. This one's just like 10 episodes. Just
I know the next thing I watch after Power Rangers. I know the next two things I watch after Power Rangers.
What are the next two things you watch?
So the next thing I watch is The Politician, which is I watched season 1 of the show.
I forgot season 2 of that was like even a thing.
And-
They just dropped it with no one.
Yeah, it was really weird. I'm glad because I liked season 1. And season 2 seems to be a lot of the same, but also different. I don't know how it's gonna be. I understand the show isn't as good as I watching it the first time, and then reflection. I realized the show isn't as good as I wanted it to be, but it's
Yeah.
still pretty good. And then after that, I go into more serious because I'm gonna watch Gravity Falls for the first time.
Oh, Gravity Falls is so good.
Yeah, I know. I've heard.
so we were talking about Star Wars and how they keep botching it, and how everyone hates it now. But
I
there's
don't hate it.
there's like a one thing recently, and they were like, hey, this one's actually pretty good, as far as games go, and it was the Jedi Fallen Order. Corey's been playing it supposedly.
I have been playing it. Wow.
Yes.
Never mind. What a transition.
Did it live up to expectations? Did it make you like Star Wars again?
I'm not gonna go back and watch the movies again, but I think the game was really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it that that Souls influence that you love so much?
Little bit, but I also just kind of like the little ragtag cast of characters. They're fun.
This one goes to all of you. Like, what is the key to having likable Star Wars characters? Because, like, I think everyone's favorite parts of like the movies are like spending time with like Han Solo and like the ensemble cast. And I feel like when you have like really boring characters, like in Star Wars Rebels, it just falls flat. So it's like, what are you looking for in a cast of characters?
I think a good Star Wars character is kind of like wholly dependent on the movie that they're in. Because like Kylo Ren is a good villain for the main trilogy, but if you put him in like the original trilogy up against like Darth Vader and the Emperor, he would suck.
I don't think it's a good character.
I don't think he would suck, but I just
Like he just wouldn't live up to Darth Vader and the Emperor.
no.
That's
Like
But-
in the new trilogy, he like works.
I
And
He
also,
was
if
also
you-
the only villain in the new trilogy.
I mean, that's not true. There's also freaking Hux, kind of.
Hux.
And Andy Serkis.
Yeah. Who both had very anticlimactic deaths.
I think
He also wouldn't work in the prequel trilogy because no one worked in the prequel trilogy.
not true. One person worked in the prequel.
Okay, yeah, Qui-Gon I'll give you.
Thank two. I forgot
And
about
Darth
Qui-Gon.
Maul because he
Darth
doesn't
Maul.
have any lines.
Yeah, because he
He
just
had,
looks
like, one
cool. That's
line.
all you need.
Doesn't he have like one line? Like
Maybe he says yes
somewhere?
or something like that,
Pretty
or
much,
him
We
yelling.
can't talk about lines in Star Wars movie when one of the most beloved characters in all of Star Wars only speaks 7 times.
Which is who?
Boba Fett
that's
only speaks
true.
7 times in the original trilogy. Hot take, Boba Fett is boring. I have no interest in that character.
I just think he looks cool.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
whole appeal of
that's
him.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like his main like coolness factor. Is like, whoa, this guy looks freaking cool, bro.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Like it was the 80s.
that's
They didn't
the-
know
Yeah,
any better.
that carried him for
Yeah.
all this time.
The 80s didn't have storytelling.
But that
Yeah.
like happens with pretty much
Whoa, wait a
most
minute.
Star Wars characters, I want to say. Like they come up with a design first, and it's like, "Wow, this will sell a lot of action figures and Legos."
Yeah,
I think
the
And
that's
then,
Mandalorian
entire
design is cool.
franchise.
What was that?
Which
I
one?
think that's the entire franchise. Everything's yes.
But yeah, so I think one criticism that I have heard with Fallen Order is that like, the protagonist is not that he doesn't stand out that much compared to like a Luke Skywalker or something like that. Was that how you felt, or did you think that whatever his name was, did you think he was a strong lead?
I think he was in the game they put him in because there was a bit more focus on the group as a whole, whereas in the movies it felt like Luke was the main character, or Obi-Wan and Anakin were the main people, and then everyone else was present.
Yeah.
He didn't stand out as much because he was in a clique.
Speaking of antagonists, there is one antagonist who shows up in the last 5 minutes of the game. I feel like it's not a spoiler to say because it's in all the commercials, but I won't anyway. So what did you think of like the main antagonist? What's her face? The evil Jedi.
The second sister.
Yeah, that one.
She was honestly iconic. I love her. She was more compelling than the sequel trilogy alone.
Probably, yeah.
She's just honestly good. I like her.
Wow, great content.
What? There's not much to it. She's great.
Okay.
This is
More we
a
could
great
say, but I don't
episode.
want to spoil stuff about the
Okay,
story.
do you want a sequel to this game? Do you think
I would love to
they leave it
this
open
game.
kind of, but
I would play it.
where do you think they go from here? Do they like meet up with Luke?
No. Because Luke is still just a person on a hydro farm, moisture farm. That's what it's called.
Whatever. He gets
It's not a
water.
Jedi yet. He's not interesting yet.
Yeah, but I mean they could do like 10 years later, right?
They could, but then they'd have to explain what they were doing during the time of the movies, and I don't think they want to do that.
It's Star Wars. They never have to do that. They can just like have
I'm
people.
thinking-
They just have Obi-Wan go to the desert and he stays there for 20 years and nothing happens. They're fine with that.
You're right.
They can just start building the Death Star and then don't finish it for 20 years. It's okay.
Hey, it's Star Wars.
It really is Star
Hey,
Wars.
it's
Does
Star
anybody have
Wars.
Stanford anymore?
Yeah. Do you think people should care about Star Wars anymore? I mean, they're doing they're doing good stuff occasionally, but I feel like people have too high expectations for this stuff.
That's true.
Kyle, what about you? I know you were. I mean, we were throwing down some words about some of the new movies,
Well, I think the only Star Wars game I've ever played is Battlefront 2, which
The original
not-
or the new one?
the original, the good one. Well, although I've heard
The
good
new
things
2
about
is-
Battlefront 2.
It's gotten better over time.
This may be generalizing. I don't think people that play Star Wars games care as much about the characters as like other video game franchises they play. I think a lot of people just buy Star Wars games because Star Wars is on the name.
I think it
I don't
depends on
doubt
which
that.
title.
I also think also a lot of like the Star Wars games appeal is like the power fantasy of being a Jedi or just like a Star Wars character in general.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with KOTOR games, I feel like that's the one thing where people are into the story and into the characters. Because before Disney took it over, that was all canon.
I never
then they-
liked that stuff though. The
They
like
did
the
not-
Old
I
Republic.
loved KOTOR.
I mean, like the stories itself, they seem good, but just like that, I feel like it delegitimizes the importance of the actual movies, which are supposed to be the most important part.
Well,
Because
see,
it's
originally, I think the Game of Thrones guys were at one point working on like a trilogy based on the Old Republic story, but then Disney
Right.
canceled it because
But
they
it's
saw
just-
season
Yeah.
8 of Game of Thrones.
like it never felt like this was
I think they quit before.
1,000 years in the past. Like it just felt like Star Wars still, and nothing changed in however many years it was.
Like, I would have liked to see something that is not that poopy MMO. Because I don't want to play it.
She
Speaking of that
says, having
poopy MMO.
downloaded Phantasy Star 2.
Yeah, and then I decided that I didn't like it after like 1 minute, but maybe I'll go back.
You know, speaking of that poopy MMO, I've
And the
been
narrator
playing that
said
poopy
she never
MMO
went
this
back.
week.
PSO2?
No, Old Republic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who are you rolling? What's your class?
I am a Sith Marauder.
I don't know what
Okay.
that means, but it sounds fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
almo-
it sounds cool.
You get to have 2 lightsabers.
Ooh.
Whoa.
So you're
Yeah.
General
You actually,
Grievous.
did you pay?
No, I did not pay, and I honestly I feel like I should have because non-paying players are treated like second-class citizens in that game.
The Club Penguin
Who
problem.
cares?
That's how it is.
Like you cannot use the text chat. There's like after you hit level 20, they like lower your XP gains by a lot. You get higher prices in shops. You have like a cap on how much money you can hold.
That's
Like,
annoying.
Yeah, you were a second-class citizen in that game.
Who would have expected something like that from EA?
I know,
Wow.
right?
Whoa.
They're always known for their great quality games.
How long until they lose the license for Star Wars and someone else starts working on it?
5 years.
5 years from now, or
Yeah. I don't know.
I hope it's soon because I'd like to see someone else take a crack at
Yeah,
it.
I mean, because like
Yeah, I'd
I
like
want
that.
Respawn to keep working on it, obviously, but like I think the exclusivity is hurting it. I think like they should open it up again.
Yeah, they don't have to try hard because they're the only Star Wars games out there.
Exactly. And then they could do Star Wars versus Star Trek. Make that happen somehow. I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
probably a comic book somewhere.
Oh, yeah, or fanfic.
No, well, Star Trek does like. Sorry, go ahead. Talk to me.
Yeah, bad news, guys. I just looked online, and apparently the EA and Disney deal is going for the indefinite future. There's no end date on it. So it just goes until one of them cancels it.
We
Yeah.
have to find the contract and get a Sharpie.
We have to take over EA and then destroy it.
Mission Impossible. All systems go with it.
That move, the contract is hidden on a holocron.
Oh no. Is anyone force sensitive here?
Well, you know, the Force is inside all of us,
Oh,
really.
right.
So.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that. All right, who has the highest midi-chlorian count?
I don't know. I
Among
haven't
us
been
or just
tested
in
a
general?
while.
Yeah, among us. I mean, because
It's
obviously
probably Dan. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
it would probably be Dan.
Dan is like severe Darth Maul energy.
Yeah, like that's the problem.
No, he talks
has
too much for small.
Good point.
I mean, he talks in the cartoons. But yeah, that's
And in Solo.
It's, don't remind me of that. That's enough
I
Star
love
Wars
Solo. What
talk
do you mean?
for,
Solo was bad.
forever.
No, it's not.
No more of
Rogue
this.
One was also bad.
Cease this. Speaking of older games, there isn't really a good transition into this. I just, Nicole's
good
been
time.
wanting to talk about Spyro for like a month now. So
Yeah.
we found out last night that she has some really strange opinions on
It's
Spyro.
not weird, dude.
So go ahead. We'll save
As someone who wasn't here, I'm
questions till the end.
Okay, so I think that 2. Oh, by the way, we're talking about the Spyro Reignited trilogy. So I think that 2 is the best one, and that 1 is the worst one. I mean, 3 is pretty crappy too. I don't really know where 3 belongs. It's just in the garbage. And the reason why I like 2 better is because you can learn moves and you collect treasure, and it amounts to something because you learn something and you grow from your experience. Whereas 1, you don't grow from anything. You just collect stuff just to collect stuff. I don't care about that. I want to use the treasure for something.
Here's my counterpoint. You don't learn anything. You just gain skills that you could have had, so you have to backtrack to older levels. When you could have just had it the whole time. It's just padding.
No, yeah, exactly. Because you could have had it the whole time, and then I did it the first try, and then I was like, all right, I'm done.
So I guess you don't like Metroidvanias then, huh?
Not really. No. Well, I specifically don't like the word Metroidvania. But that's a whole separate issue. I just like Spyro 1 the most because there's like no fluff in it. There's, the other 2 games are so weighted down with like mini games and like stupid side quests and stuff. And like
But I need something else.
all I ever need anyway, because I'm at one with my inner self, is to just run around as a dragon and collect treasure.
But that treasure amounts to nothing.
The treasure amounts to like dopamine points in your brain.
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
care.
the treasure, it directly translates to fun.
You got to take dopamine wherever you can get it, Nicole.
But I wanna be able to do something with the treasure. Like I can't spend it. I can't.
You
I
don't
don't know.
spend
Turn
coins in
Spyro
Mario.
like pink or something if I
That's
want.
true. You don't
That's-
spend coins in Mario.
You don't spend rings in Sonic. It's just like a
No, because you
collectible you
use
get
the
for
rings
You
to
fun.
kind of spend
like.
rings if you die.
No, not true. Because in Sonic Adventure 2, you use the rings to buy your Chow things. Boom.
And
Like
also
we said,
rings are like
useful.
your life bar, so like you kind of spend them when you die.
Yeah, and your life bar. So that's not a fair comparison.
It is a fair comparison because it's just the main collectible you get. You're like, there doesn't have to be a
They
purpose
don't
to the
protect
treasure.
you like
the purpose
rings.
is that it's fun to collect. Just like collecting coins is fun in Mario.
I don't care about collecting coins. I'm also just not a completionist because I just don't care. There you go. Oh yeah, 3's bad. Stop it.
Yeah, 3
Like-
is pretty. It's, you know,
I've only played. I don't want to agree with Nicole because I think just based on saying 2 is better than 1, it just kind of sounds like a bad take.
it's a really
based on
bad
everyone
take,
else.
Kyle.
No.
Like if you play 2, I couldn't play 2 for more than 2 hours before I felt sick.
That's because
So
you're
I've
dumb.
Although I will say this, I have only played once. Technically, I've played 2 Spyro games. I played Spyro 2 on the Game Boy. That's the only Spyro I've ever like played
That
a
doesn't
big
count.
chunk of. I had fun playing it. Say that. And then I've played bits and pieces of the first Spyro in Giant Eagle's Nest when I was a kid, and that's my connection to Spyro.
That's not that bad. Yeah, I mean,
I
at
think
least
I
you didn't
also
play the
played
real Spyro
Spyro.
2.
And Eagle's Nest.
Remember when Elijah Wood played Spyro?
Yeah,
Good time.
that was a bad game.
So she can tell that, but it's other things are up in the air. We don't know. So,
Okay, well we both agree that 3 is garbage.
well, 3 is better than 2. Somehow,
No.
I don't know
Wow.
why. Like it
No.
should be worse, but it's still kind of fun.
Nicole's opinion made 3 better than 2.
Yeah, 3 is just like there's so many like stupid characters. It's like the Sonic Adventure problem. They're just like throwing all these characters you don't want to play as.
Yeah, I didn't want to play any of them, and I didn't really care for the skateboarding either.
No, the skateboarding was. I mean, it was like, hey, Tony Hawk was popular at the time.
Let's
And I-
throw in a skateboard for Spyro. This dragon can skate, except it's like 10 times worse.
And I hate the flying in the first Spyro, so like
The gliding? Or the flying challenges?
the flying challenges. I hate the freaking flying challenges. Like time challenges like that, they just stress me out so much. I don't like them.
Valid.
So
They didn't bother me that much in the games for some reason.
Yeah, the
Like,
races
like-
in 3 were worse.
Yeah, like any game that is not like directly a racing game that just decides to throw like time trial challenges, I get immediately like very stressed.
Yeah, they do a lot of that in 3. They're just like, here's
And-
6 races.
Yeah, and they don't leave a whole lot of room for error either.
I mean, Mario Galaxy does that. There's a lot of time trial stuff in Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, but it's odd. I mean, the difference is you just choose the stars you want to do.
Super Mario Odyssey did that, and that was like the worst world in that game.
Yeah, speaking of Activision platformers, they had that Kyle, stop eating potato chips or whatever you're doing.
Just moving my seat.
Who
I like.
would have thought that
Sinful.
moving your seat sounds like eating potato chips?
You're
Is
such a
your chair,
liar.
like on a floor full of potato chips?
Oh no, it's because my pants are caught on something. That's okay. That's great. Did
Are
not know
your
that.
pants a bag of potato chips?
No, that's my pants have a hole in them now.
They're your church pants.
I'm sorry. But yeah, speaking of the Spyro Crash rivalry, the people who made those remakes, they're making Crash 4, which is part of the Sony State of Play. I don't know. Did any of you guys watch
Whoa.
that thing?
I did.
I
I
did.
did.
Well, bits and pieces.
Yeah, I caught up like the highlights, and then that's about it.
All right.
You mean the singular highlight that is Bugsnax?
Okay, there
I
are
don't
two
even know
highlights.
now.
Then. There were two highlights then, and Bugsnax was one highlight.
To me, it like started out really amazing for like the first 12 or 15 minutes, and then it just fell flat. So
Yeah.
what I want to do is just like we'll each just take turns saying something we liked, so we don't have to talk about any boring stuff. Um, so I was really pleased with Crash 4 as someone who thinks that the Crash trilogy, it's worse than Spyro 1, but it's better than the other two Spyros. Uh, and it seems like they just really know what they're doing. And they're just like, hey, these are all the different things we're doing with the gameplay, all the different, gimmicks, I guess you could call them, but they don't feel like gimmicks. They just feel like, oh, this is just an extension of like the jumping and gameplay stuff. It's not like riding a skateboard or a motorcycle. And the other characters look cool too. Dingo Dial.
Dingo Dial.
Great name.
that's right.
I will admit that. Great name. Dingo Dial.
But is there any interest in this, or is it like, I'm over platformers now?
I'll get it if there's a price drop. I'm not super like I have to play this. Like I'll play it when I can.
Sure, sure.
I'm
Same here.
most likely not buying a PS5. So.
Well, it's not on PS5.
I think it's PS4.
Yeah.
It's 4.
Crash 4 is coming to 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is. It's the 4.
Well,
They're gonna put it on the 5.
It's coming out in
I don't-
October.
currently own a PlayStation. So.
I think
Well-
it's on PC. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
Probably
I
gonna
thought
be
it
on
was
Xbox.
PS4.
If it's on Xbox, or at least it's going to be on Series X, I might play it. But
Game Pass.
best deal in all of gaming.
It says PS4, Xbox One, and Series X.
There we go.
Okay.
It'll probably hit Stadia at some point too, because Stadia.
It's going to be the 7th game on Stadia.
Yay. I heard that there's no search function in Stadia because all the games just fit on one page. That's not a joke.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
That's like
The
that one
Stadia
game.
is sad.
Oh, what game
You
was it?
can't spell Stadia without sad.
In like 2018, there was a big back when it was a trend to make character shooters like Overwatch or Apex or something like that. I can't remember what it was called, but there was one that played with gravity and it looked really cool. But like it
Lawbreakers?
got Lawbreakers, I think it was.
That was
got
Cliff
marketed-
Bleszinski's name.
Got marketed terribly that it came out in like June. By the end of the year, in December, there was a day where the maximum number of players online was 19.
It's good.
Sounds like TV too.
Wild.
19.
Oh,
Uh,
that's what we call self-deprecation.
yeah, that's the only safe target. So, who else? What else stuck out to you from this presentation? Anyone?
I like the Pedestrian because I like puzzle games.
Yeah, so tell us what you do in the Pedestrian.
So you're looking at signs basically, and you play as pretty much a stick figure, and there are doors that you can do. So, for example, if you go through one door, you'll like travel to another sign, and then you can connect them. You can connect the doors, and you can do stuff like with electronics. I didn't really understand what they were doing there, though. And I don't know. It's just like it looks like a really interesting puzzle game. Wow, I'm really bad at describing them, though.
I feel like that. Yeah, a lot of puzzle games you describe them and you just sound insane. But what is the metric for when you give up on a puzzle game? When does it become too frustrating?
Well, normally I have to take a break, and I haven't touched Baba Is You in a while because I got mad. But maybe I'll go back whenever I feel like it.
Darian, are you a puzzle game guy?
I like puzzle games, yeah. Like Portal 2 is one of the only games that I would consider to be perfect.
Yes.
The Witness was also a game that existed. Tetris is, I love me some Tetris.
Tetris isn't a puzzle game.
Tetris is a puzzle game, Kyle.
If Tetris isn't a puzzle game, what is it?
Yeah, I would say it's a puzzle game.
I don't.
It's a
I
Tetris
want to
game.
dispute that, but I think it's just Tetris.
And plus, also, I kind of tend to think of like stealth games as puzzle games in a way.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Like you try to problem solve.
Yeah.
It's so the genre is tile matching game. which I think it.
That's like
Get
a
over
spin-off.
That's a
yourself.
puzzle
subgenre,
game.
isn't it?
Yeah,
No.
that's
That's
a
a spin-off of the
subgenre.
puzzle.
Get
No.
over yourself.
No, I am. I
Mute
am
yourself.
gonna fight. I'm gonna fight that.
We'd like to let it be known that Kyle's opinions do not in any way represent All Systems Go.
As usual.
Listen, Tetris is. Oh my god! Put a poll out on Twitter, Darian. I want to see what the people think.
Okay,
What,
I will.
is Tetris a puzzle game or not? Like, kind of question is that?
Is Tetris a puzzle game? Yes or no? See what the
Alright, I
people
will do
think.
that.
Of course it
I'm
is.
voting.
Okay. Anyway. Yeah.
Puzzle games are fun.
Puzzle game for the fans of the genre. Subliminal, I think it is. Superliminal. I don't know the actual spelling. I've played a bit of it. It's the one that plays with like perspective and like your relationship to certain objects in the
Yes, I
room.
know what you're talking about.
I've played like the first like 3 or 4 levels, and it's really fun and really trippy. And I want to play more of it, but I keep getting sidetracked by other games that I own.
I should have bought that on the summer sale. Now that you mention that.
Oh yeah, I bought it for like what, $10 or something like that.
I missed out.
Corey, what stood out to you in this state of plate?
I think the Pathless looked interesting.
Yeah, so
Which one was
why
that?
don't we indulge your oratory skills again? What describe the Pathless to me? What are we doing?
The Pathless at least looks like a third-person, vaguely open world type game. Well, not vaguely open world. They said it was open world. And you're the hunter who can run really fast, but only if she shoots little airborne targets with her bow every once in a while. And she has a bird that she can use to fly. And she has to bring light back to her giant forest. And there's no map. There's no map.
There's no map.
There's no map.
Nicole, do you want a map?
It depends on how big the world is.
I don't know how big the world is.
Yeah,
You just
nobody knows.
I know. I know.
you look into a blue version of the world, and if things are red, you have to go hurt it. I think.
Something I did think that was interesting. The developer said, or one of the devs, he said that it's timing based, so it's not based on like how well you can aim, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I did notice like a homing aspect to the arrows.
I
Very
feel
much.
like that's a game that would like feel really good to play, like when you get the timing right.
Yeah, so this is by the Abzu developers, which I played like 3 days ago or something. Which it's like a fun little game and you're in the ocean, but it was like a little too derivative of Journey for me. Just sort of like the same sort of thing happens, the same arc.
Mm-hmm.
So this looks like they're really, expanding it, going in a different direction with it being open world. And I'm interested.
It looks neat.
I think I could find myself getting bored in it though, because okay, so you get the shadow demon thingies, right? And you go to the tower and you like beat up the tower. And then was there also like a collectible thing?
You can
No.
power up your bird,
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, you can power up your.
You can
bird
pet the
trap with
bird.
Crystals.
You can pet the bird.
You can pet the bird.
Pandering.
No, but there is a thing where where so there were like a bunch of like, I guess they kind of look like candles or something. And they were lined up, and then she got to like one end of them, and then they kind of bounced off of all of them. And I thought that was a collection thing, or maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, that was how she got a crystal for her bird.
Okay, so yeah, that's what you're talking about. But yeah, I can find myself, if those are the only things you can do, I can find myself getting really bored.
Well, Kyle or Darian, what was something you noticed that you really were hyped about?
Okay, so for me, just as like as an intro, I am like dumb, and I somehow completely missed that they announced Hitman 3 a couple months ago. And so when it came up in the state of play, I was like, "Oh my god, Hitman 3 is coming out!" Oh wait, I just looked; they announced it in June. But they did announce Hitman VR, which is an interesting idea. Honestly, I am curious to see how that works out.
Yeah, they said you could play like the whole trilogy in VR.
Mhm.
Like that's neat.
That
as heck.
sounds wicked.
Yeah.
It does sound ballin'.
Are you gonna get it, Jeremy, since you're such a big fan of Hitman?
I mean, it comes out in January, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
it depends if I have money then. But
Just ask for money for Christmas.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. I mean, it might come
No.
out on my birthday, so if it
Don't
does,
be that
There you
It
go.
comes
person.
out on. Oh yeah, just says January. Okay. Never mind.
yeah, I mean, if it comes out like early in January, then I can get it for my birthday. But yeah, I love that series.
I love that 3 is gonna have like all of the first 2 in it. Like I like that it rather than just leaving the old ones behind, they keep reintegrating the old one into the new one.
Right.
So like if like when you buy Hitman 3, you
do
get like
that
a
as well?
freaking whole buttload of content.
Oh, I didn't know that was how they did that.
Well,
Isn't that how
I'm not
2
sure
did
if
it?
that is exactly how it works. I don't because like if it like honors your purchases, right? So if you had one, you could take it over, but your progress didn't carry over. But
Actually, I'm looking at Wikipedia here. It says players who own Hitman 2016 and Hitman 2 will be able to port maps, levels, and their progress into
right,
Hitman
so for
3.
3 they are keeping your progress, which is great.
Yeah.
Imagine how much money that would save for people if only sequels, if all sequels did that.
The new Call of Duty one does have like every map of Call of Duty history in it.
Just Super
actually
Smash
sounds
Brothers
really
Ultimate.
cool.
Yeah, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Everyone is here.
Except for Waluigi.
Yeah,
Like I
so
said, everyone.
what I feel like we talked about Hitman before, but like is there any like location you really want them to go to?
I'd really like to see them like go back to some old classic levels, like the nightclub from Blood Money, for example, or the estate from the first level of the original Hitman 2. Like, there's a lot of classic levels that I think they could like. It'd be nice to see them dip back into and like expand upon.
Yeah, because they really obviously they up the interactivity in every game, just the amount of things you can do. So it'd be sort of like going back, seeing how it changed.
Yeah,
Right.
but being able to like play around in those iconic spaces more, and with like all these new tools and new presentation that they can provide it.
Well, you and me will just be the Hitman defenders forever. Just
Absolutely.
gotta spread the word.
Iconic.
Play this game. Like I'm pretty sure like Hitman 2 is on sale for like $11. Like
I think they just added Hitman 2 to PlayStation now. If you
yeah,
got
I
that.
mean you're just stupid not to get it at this point.
Yeah, and plus, like you can if you can find the first game on sale for really cheap, then you can just integrate all that into Hitman 2, and then whammo.
Yeah, we are laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah,
Level.
they're practically like giving those levels away.
But yeah. So Kyle, you didn't say something yet, right?
That's because I was waiting to talk about Bugsnax, baby. At
It's
first I'm like,
Bugsnax.
yeah, the whole version of that song is on there. It's not as good as just the part they talk about in the trailers,
It's
but
such a good song.
only the first part's good. I'll be honest. It's only the first
I
part.
love me some KKV.
So originally when I saw this, I'm like, this seems really weird. Has some like deeper story to it, but like I'm never gonna touch it. And then I found out that it's one of the inspirations behind Bugsnax is the Ape Escape franchise, and my brain went, "Yep, this is my favorite thing ever now." And I don't want to buy it. I probably won't buy a PlayStation 5. I want this game so bad. I want to play this so bad. Ape Escape 3 specifically for some reason is one of my top 5 favorite games I've ever played. And I just want and it looks fun. It's got a cool concept behind it. Don't like the fact that people look like the Muppets can talk and they have like hands and they turn into it. That looks dumb and creepy and terrifying, but this game looks awesome and I want to play it.
This game scares me. Like there's going to be a turn at some point where it gets dark.
Zero doubts.
Every time I look at Bugsnax, it gives me vibes of Slime Rancher.
But bad.
I disagree.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't see the Slime Rancher.
Like it's just
Slime Rancher was cute and enjoyable.
yeah, like Bugsnax looks
How
like it's also
dare
gonna be
you.
cute and enjoyable.
Bugsnax just looks disturbing.
In my personal
gonna be
opinion, I
fun.
disagree with that.
Kyle, speaking of bugs getting snacks, Pikmin 3.
Heck yeah, dude!
Do we mean
Ah.
Pikmin 3 Deluxe?
It doesn't matter. The Wii U is dead and Pikmin 3 is coming to Switch. I am so happy. I love the Pikmin games, man.
I want to play the first two first, though. I want to know what's going on.
You really don't. It's a
I
different.
actually-
I mean, you kind of do,
No, it's
but
just
you don't.
It's Pikmin. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's Pikmin.
I mean-
The games all have the same concept.
Yeah. Except
Like, there is
3 is the best one.
Yes. Well, and then I think 3 Deluxe will be even better, just because it's not on Wii U.
Wii U's great. Yeah, it seems like $60 is too much for that. And they delisted the Wii U version.
Almost immediately. The only thing left on the Wii U that isn't been ported or done better in other games, I think, is Twilight Princess.
No, that's a GameCube game.
I was like, you
I-
can say
I
it's not
keep
GameCube,
holding-
dude.
Mario
What is-
3D World is like the last one.
I keep hoping they're gonna port over the Wind Waker HD.
Maybe it's those. Maybe it's some HD Zelda remaster or something like that.
Yeah, Wind Waker is the one they did for Wii U.
I think they did Twilight Princess too.
Yeah, but that one wasn't as good.
Yeah,
Uh,
I want to play Wind Waker, but everyone has said that like the HD version is the one to play, and I don't want to buy a Wii U just for Wind Waker HD.
That's fair.
Your loss. Sorry, we're getting off topic. Back to the Sony thing. There's still 2 more things I want to hit on, but maybe one of you can go.
What are
I
the
spaced out
things?
during Godfall.
Well, yeah, that just
Oh
looked
yeah, yeah.
So like,
bad.
I want to. I'm never gonna play it, obviously, because it's not my kind of game. But like, I can't tell because like several different companies have talked about Godfall, but the game just looks so like meh
Yeah.
that I can't
Yeah.
tell if they want to push it hard so it sells well or they're just gonna let it die. I feel like they're just gonna let it
It
die.
feels like snake oil. It feels like all these people are telling me how great this
Yeah.
game is, and it was like, this looks bad. What are you talking about?
yeah,
It just
no,
looks
that's
like
a
any
good
other
comparison.
game, you know?
Yeah,
I don't
like,
think it looks bad, it
can
just
you
looks
picture in your
uninspired
mind what
and-
the Godfall guy looks like? Like, imagine what he looks like. You can't.
Well,
I
we
know
won't
that
have
he
to
can
imagine
use
because
5
he
different
do
kinds
it
of
bad.
weapons.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What-
I don't
what
want to
were
hate
they?
on something for no reason. So I think my biggest exciting announcement of the thingy was Spelunky 2 coming soon,
Oh, yeah.
Spelunky.
September. My God, it's
Wild.
Very fast.
online co-op. I want to play that with all of you.
I would be interested in that.
Oh, side note, not to get super off topic, but while I was watching, this the one part I watched was Spelunky 2. And I happened to look at the YouTube chat as this was happening, and it made me realize that gamers don't deserve rights because they are never happy, regardless of what's happening. You have a cool sequel, a game that somebody is proud of that he made after the first one was really successful, and all you are doing is complaining just for the sake of complaining because it's not exactly what you. I'm not. Just gamers don't deserve rights. Anyway,
You are absolutely correct.
No disagreements.
I feel like, I mean, people complain all the time and then they still buy it. Like, the last
Mhm.
Pokemon sold more than most of the other Pokemon. It's like, complaining is just a fun thing for people to do because,
Gamers are all talk.
It
but-
feels like
yeah.
the more they complain, the more they wind up buying the game.
I know.
yeah.
True.
They're
But
all talk, but they got no sense of follow through.
to me, it looks fantastic. Just like, the way he was talking about it and just like everything that he like loved from the experience of making the first and second game and just like the community that built around it. And he's like, this is what I want to do so we can like make that even better in the sequel. And it's like, yes,
Yeah.
dude.
He was like, it's a pure, such a pure mixture of pride and like thanks. Because a lot of times you'll just get those super like emotional, like thank you for making this such a great game, and it seems so like disingenuous. But he was so like, but at the same time he was like, you know what? Yeah, I made a good game, and I'm proud of myself for that. But thank you for like telling me. It was so.
Yeah.
So
And the
wholesome.
Godfall guy
I
was
loved it.
like, look at this longsword.
It's a double-handed sword, dude.
But yeah,
Apparently, it's the same weapon system from Brawlhalla of all things.
I don't even know what that means, but that sounds funny.
Apparently, it's not the same. I don't know.
Yeah, Spelunky 2 was the highlight, but I also just want to take the opportunity to make fun of Nicole because not 24 hours ago, we all learned that she had not heard of the seminal indie game that sort of, changed the landscape of video gaming called Braid.
Okay.
She hadn't heard of
actually,
it.
Once I saw it on there, I was like, oh wait, I do recognize this game.
Oh no, she's
Wait,
backpedaling.
nice
Don't believe her
backtracking.
lies.
No, okay, but that's actually
believe
because I was
her.
like, I've seen his character model before,
Don't
but
believe
that's
No.
her
literally
lies.
Nicole,
No.
I'll save you.
You've
I've
seen
never
the
heard of
character
Braid
model
until
because
today.
it's iconic.
I don't know. But it's just it was funny that we were looking at the library of my games and she's like, I've never heard of Braid. And it's like, what are you talking about? And then they announced like Braid remastered. And it's like not 24 hours later.
Yeah, I'll save Nicole on this one. I've never heard of it.
Well, now you have.
Still no interest in it. It looked like any indie platformer.
That's because it was like the first one.
Well, it's my theory that if you see a sequel before you see the original, and it just repeats the things that the first one did, you'll find the second one better. My example is more with a movie because I saw Horrible Bosses 2 first, and I like it better because I saw it first, even though it's the same movie basically as Horrible Bosses 1.
Whatever you say, man. Yeah, so that's going to wrap up the discussion on that video. But the last thing I want to say is, it's an open secret, obviously. This format is cribbed from the Nintendo Direct. But at this point in the year, guys, do you think that Sony is beating Nintendo at its own game?
Sony has more to actually announce. Nintendo doesn't have anything.
It does.
Yeah.
It just can't do it.
I don't know if they even have anything.
Year they had, and what did they have this year? They had freaking Clubhouse games. They had Paper Mario. Now they got
Mario,
Pikmin.
yeah.
After Animal Crossing, it all kind of went downhill.
The format, Nintendo spoiled us with the format of the Nintendo Direct, and now you are seeing people copy it because they are in they finally had to. Nintendo can't do it to the quality that we see before, and they want to continue to spoil us. So if we don't see another Nintendo Direct, I'm cool. If they want to say, hey, this game's coming out in November, if they want to tell us in October, hey, this is our big November release, I don't care. I just want good games. I don't care how they're released. It's all hoopla. I don't care if we never get another Nintendo Direct again. I just want games to come out eventually.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter when they were announced in history. The final product speaks for itself. Unless it's a really embarrassing marketing campaign, but that doesn't happen too often.
So I wish games could work more like albums where you can just release them and then be like, hey, by the way, we just released this. But games have to build it up so much just so
They can
get that
afford to not promote.
Yeah, I just wish that there's more surprise to it. You just, hey, look, here's Knack 3 out of nowhere.
That's the only way I'll accept Knack 3 is by Shadow Drop.
Now there's leakers and they have to do marketing through all the journalism sites and everything. There's no fun with it anymore. It's just here's the game.
Yeah, there's a game. And Darian, I feel really bad because you've wanted to ask this question for 8 weeks or something. It was ridiculous. And then we just kept delaying episodes or you went out of town. But you got something on your sheet here. And it's finally time to ask it. The cliffhanger has been being resolved right now.
Yeah. So this is a question that I thought of a while ago. So imagine that you have you're given an unlimited budget. You're given a team of the best artists and writers and programmers and whatever you can think of, and you're allowed to make any game that you want to. What would you make?
I want to skew this question by saying you are an indie studio and you can't use anyone's IP. You have to make your own game from the ground up.
I can't steal something from an existing thing.
No, you can't just say make Smash 10. You can't do that.
No, like, what if... Okay, so, like, if you watched a TV show and you're like, I want a game version of this. Am I allowed to do that?
No, I mean, you could do like a rip-off of it, but it'd have to be an original property. So, Darian, I mean, you had a lot of time to think about this. Did you have an answer prepared?
I did have one answer for it. So, like, one idea that I had is, like, something like Shadow of the Colossus, where you're, like, fighting big old giant monsters, but as, like, a cooperative hero shooter kind of thing. I just feel like that could be kind of neat.
So, like, lawbreakers, but there's a big guy.
Sure, if you want to bring up the L word.
So now we all have to vote. Who would play that?
Lawbreakers?
No, but
No, Shadow of the Colossus as like a hero shooter, like a cooperative hero shooter. There's like a bunch of different characters. They all got abilities. You all team up and you try to take down the big old monster before time runs out.
Isn't that just Monster Hunter?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I have an answer for...
All right.
thing
Well,
I
yeah, okay. But yay
Yes,
or nay?
go
Would you play that? I would skip that one.
I think...
Wow, thanks, Jeremy.
Yes. No. But if you have like a good... Like, because that's the thing. Because if you have like the best people, then it would be good. And it's co-ops. Wait, do I have the choice of co-op or can I play solo if I want?
Yeah, you could do it solo. The difficulty scales based on how many people you have.
Okay, then yeah, I would play.
Sure.
Kyle, would you play?
Probably not. Just like every other person did Lawbreakers.
Wow, that's tragic. The game's not getting funded. Sorry.
Oh man.
Nicole, what's your pitch?
Fallout 76, but good.
You're not allowed to do that.
That's it.
What?
Have an
It just sounds like even if they executed it well, I wouldn't want to play that. Like the
Fallout 69.
So maybe not like an MMO kind of thing, but it's kind of more like a co-op thing because it's like a bad MMO. So I'd rather have it be like co-op, or if you want to play solo, you can, and have a story, and have NPCs.
Aren't they like adding NPCs?
Wait, I'm
now,
so
though?
confused.
Yeah.
So like, what are you? You're just like, why does it
This
have
is
to be
really-
Fallout
So-
76? It just sounds like you're making Fallout.
Okay, yeah, but, well, yeah.
You just want to make another Fallout.
Why do you
game.
want to make another? There are too many, and they're not good.
I liked 3 and New Vegas, so I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
But like, is it the same setting or is it like something else?
No, it's in a different city,
What city is it in?
But is it still like post-apocalypse?
Cleveland, because that's near here.
Nobody says I want to explore post-apocalyptic Cleveland.
You want to
Find out
visit,
what's in that dolphin building.
and then you get some of the like suburbs and rural. Don't like that word.
The climax
Areas.
of the game takes place at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, dude, that'd be awesome.
So your pitch
Get a
is
big
just
old
Fallout, but
roll.
in Cleveland.
Fallout,
It's like
but in
the same
Cleveland,
gameplay and everything?
But like, so basically like a regular Fallout game, but you have the choice of co-op and in Cleveland, and it's good, and there's a good story and stuff like that. Yeah, that's literally it.
So if you want a good story in Fallout,
I
you
mean,
better
there's
get a Steam to make
already
it.
there's already a Fallout knockoff out there. Like the market is saturated.
Well, I can have the best writers for this one and the best developers, so there you go.
That's true. I did say she has the best fairies and the best
Wow,
developers.
you really gave her too much money. I still wouldn't play it. I just don't like that series.
Because you don't like post-apocalyptic stuff.
Yeah, it's such a boring setting.
I would play that game.
Yeah.
I want good Fallout.
Corey, Kyle, would you play it?
Sure. Maybe if the open world is large enough, we can go explore the remains of Kent.
Yeah.
I don't like Fallout, so
Oh, couldn't
No,
snag the
we're
majority.
about a 50-50 split. There.
Yeah, we keep doing that.
Yeah, you need a three-person majority to get it.
Sony to
Okay,
be
well-
either a little more controversial or a little more good.
Yeah, I think that's the lesson we're learning. Kyle, Corey, either of you have an idea, or should I go?
You should go.
You should
Okay.
go.
So I feel like we've talked before about how we can never get into fighting games because they're like too hard. And I feel like a lot of it is just like Street Fighter 2 came out and then they just iterated on that for 25 years. So I would like get a team of people together to make a fighting game, but none of them have ever played a fighting game before. And it's just like, we're building this from the ground up, and you're like not allowed to look at reference material and just like what a total newcomer thinks a fighting game would be, and just like make it totally different and like play totally differently, and just see if that's more user friendly.
But what do you mean? Like, do you mean like, do you think there would be long combos or like a one button like thing, or like what?
Yeah, like there still needs to be like some sort of unifying vision to tie everything together.
Sure, but it's just like why everything like controls the way it does, and like the mechanics are the way they are because it like all comes from one game, right? So it's like if we're working from the ground up, it would be different. It doesn't have to be like as deep or as good. It just just a different approach to it. And they're all dogs because I want this to get greenlit.
You pander too much, therefore I'm out.
I don't think I'm in.
Make them.
This is like video game Shark Tank.
Yeah, well,
Maybe if it's on a
Of
really
course, and I'm
nice
Mark Cuban.
sale.
if it's what?
If it's on like a really good sale.
Great.
Yeah, wait, what's the price tag here?
Like it'll be free to play, and
Ooh,
I need
wait a
to
minute.
But
on
is it
sale.
good free to play?
Is it gonna have microtransactions?
It's
Yeah.
a mobile game.
no, it's like it's free to play, but there's like one microtransaction that's $60, and like at the start of every match, it's just like this guy's the best.
What
And
kind
even when
of
it
dog-
loses, even when you lose, it just tells you won.
A $60 self-esteem booster.
What kind
Yeah.
of dogs are there?
Like all the different dogs.
Every single kind of dog.
Yeah, pretty much.
What about my dog?
I mean, unless your dog is some weird crossbreed, it'll probably
Yes,
be in there.
you've seen him. I don't know what he is.
Is there a campaign mode?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Is the final boss of said campaign mode a cat?
No, it's like a giant. It's a dire wolf.
It's a mailman.
I don't know. What about you two guys? You come up with anything yet?
Kind of.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
It's
Just make it up as you go.
Yeah, that's what I
It's the
do.
It's the Halo 3 campaign, but it's got Overwatch's character system.
Boo!
Boo, not playing that one.
No, skip it.
Why?
So does it just take the environment from Halo? Is that
So it's got like the enemies, weapons, classes, but they have alt moves like Overwatch, and it's just a team of like, man, I don't know, I don't make video games. Like I do this for movies, but nah.
Nobody watches movies these days.
Well, yeah, now.
I mean, yeah.
Not until Christopher Nolan dragged us all back kicking and screaming into the theater.
I wish him the
I think
best
that's
of
just
luck.
because we were screaming at each other over The Dark Knight.
Yeah, he has that effect on people.
Yeah. Corey, you're being awfully quiet. Are you thinking deeply over there, or are you hardly thinking?
I'm building a concept.
Okay.
He's lying right now. He's just.
Yeah, he's trying to buy time.
Why
It
not both?
is
He just goes,
a
"How much time do we
game
have left in the
where you do something.
I'm in. Sold.
Don't
$60.
attack me, Jeremy
Take my money.
Farbman.
Corey, you're just gonna lose by default. I'm sorry.
All right. Y'all know how I have a thing for the Souls games, even though y'all don't like them?
Yes.
I've heard of this.
Well, in Dark Souls and Demon Souls, the magic is bad because it's not balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, make a Souls-style game where you don't get swords, you just get magic, and the magic is really well done.
So what is this, like Harry Potter magic or like arcane stuff?
Like arcane stuff. Like a good old fantasy setting.
What is the power curve? Like, what is the top spell you can accomplish?
Good question.
The top spell you can accomplish is a tactical nuke.
You summon the mailman.
It's a
summon the
crossover
mailman.
with the dog fighting game.
The secret lore. If you read the item descriptions, you find out everyone's actually dogs.
The most powerful spell was gun.
I'm in.
Yes.
You know what? Yeah, I would just do New Game Plus on that one. Yeah.
Is it a spell that like gives you a gun, or is it a spell where you just like cast it and just shoots bullets out of your hands?
Either
You
one.
you have a gun.
Does the gun shoot for you, or do you have to shoot?
Well, you have to shoot it yourself. It's a gun.
No, I meant like if you're playing. I'm like, do you cast a spell and then you just sit there, or do you have to actually aim?
No, you level up, you reach a high enough level, and suddenly you find a gun.
My favorite is
So
games
you
that
are
invalidate
shooting,
their own
like,
game
FPS.
with just a...
That's what we
The
call.
lore is going to
endgame
be
content.
complex. The magic
That's
system
what
is
we
going
call
to be
Metroidvania.
full and enriching.
So what
And
is
then just at the
setting?
very end, you find a gun on the ground.
What is the setting? Is this like Sekiro, or is this more Bloodborne, or is this Dark Souls?
Or is this like
It's
LA
more-
Noir?
or Doom.
It's more like Dark Souls.
just naming games at this point.
But those are all from
Bugsnax.
That's
us.
because they have clear different styles and settings.
Yeah, they all have very different, distinct styles.
Yeah, Kyle, you just named 2 shooters. Like, we were all super unimpressed.
Yeah. I didn't think it'd go over well either.
But yet you did it anyway. What does that say about
Exactly.
you?
It says
EA.
I don't. Wow! Whoa! Hey now.
I mean, the first 2 letters of his last name are EA. He was trying to tell us all along.
Off.
You said something bad. You said
The
something you
hint
can't
was
take
there
back.
all along.
Listen, my game would have a cool story. You can't say that about any EA game.
I think we probably could. Titanfall 2 is a pretty cool story.
Have you played The Sims?
Have you played Skate?
Skate 4!
One of these days. Okay.
It's coming, isn't it? Didn't they announce that?
Yeah, they announced they're working
Technically,
on
they
it.
did.
We have no
You know.
information. We just know that they're
We
working
know
on it.
exists.
about as much as Metroid Prime 4. So, it's a race now. Who can come
Tony
out
Hawk,
first?
though, baby.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 HD.
So, what I'm learning is there's a lot to look forward to, even without our ill-thought-out ideas.
Yeah.
What I'm learning is that I won.
I guess you did.
I think
mean,
yeah, I think
At least
Dogfighter
3 of you
probably
said you would
won.
play my game.
if I could put in a cheat code and just start with New Game Plus, I would. Like the Resident Evil rocket launcher, I'd just do that.
Maybe, but you can't just like put it in on the title screen in a code menu. That would be weak.
You just enter the Konami code and you get the gun.
Konami code, but like one input is different because I don't want to just steal that. That'd be weak.
It's reverse. It's down, down, up, up. There we go.
No, it's start A B A B.
Oh god.
I'm getting
Right,
so much
right, left,
deja vu
left.
right now. I feel like I've had this exact conversation with someone.
You start up the game, you spawn in the first location, and normally you would walk forward to the first objective, but if you like turn around, you'll just see a box and it says, "Hey, here's a gun."
Just a box.
Can you have like a tutorial where it tries to teach you like the fake magic system, and then it's like, oh yeah, here's this gun for completing the tutorial.
And then you just get a trophy that's a bunch of question marks.
Is there a cheat code for big head mode? Because I will definitely play it if it has that.
It's gotta have big head.
That'll
mode.
make headshots easier at least.
There's not a big head mode, but there is a head of unusual size mode.
There you go.
Just
What would you
randomized
consider
consider
an
an
unusual
unusual
Trademark that.
size?
This game is sounding better and better by the minute.
Yeah.
I know.
I think
That's
he
why
won.
I won.
He won who would win, and now we won this pitch idea as well. So
Yeah, I think so.
that's what we learned is he doesn't speak often, but when he speaks with a purpose.
You know, I am very curious what Dan would have pitched for this segment. 'Cause I feel like he would have had something really great.
He
What
would
if
still
it's
be
you?
talking
Let's
about
be
it.
honest.
Doom game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he would
probably
say
would.
something about Doom.
Yeah.
He'd be like Doom, but in GTA.
See, I would play that.
Yeah, so would I. Let's be real.
I-
We'd all buy
I
that.
also miss Who Would Win. That was a fun segment. Let's do it again.
That was a fun segment.
Well, the secret to this podcast is that like I borrow a lot from like the Easy Allies podcast, and then the episode after we did Who Would Win, they just started doing that exact segment. And I was like, well, we can't do this again.
Well, it could be a part of our super special finale episode. Is bringing back all the old hits.
Yeah, I want to do like we might cut this out for spoilers, but when we do the finale episode, I want to do like who said it, and we just like we go back and we like find like old clips that we said, and it's like who said this.
I feel like half of them are gonna be me.
Or Dan.
Yeah, probably.
Watch you like put all that effort forth, and then we get sidetracked and talk about something, and then we just don't do it.
Yeah,
That's the podcast, though.
Yeah, we have to figure out when our finale is. We have to do something like super special for it. We gotta get like as many people in and on it as we can.
I disagree because if we have too many people, then it's gonna take like 6 hours just to get through the first segment.
That's okay. All right, what are we all doing, right? You guys are just working at gas stations, just wasting your lives away. You could be living it up.
Wow, Jeremy!
Get your
Yikes!
giant evil employees.
I'm a Marxist employee. Does that count?
You're a Marxist? Was that what I heard?
I'm a
What?
Marx employee.
Oh.
Oh my god!
Listen, I heard what I heard.
I said Marx employee. I promise you.
Why not both?
Taking it down from the inside. I like it. Okay, I think we should nip it in the bud here before we start spiraling and yelling about Batman again.
Spyroing?
Yeah, spiraling.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to ask you guys is like to bookend the podcast. We are going back to campus in a few weeks. So what is the over/under on the amount of weeks it will take before everyone gets sent home again? We're gonna have it at 8 weeks. Who says it'll take longer than 8 weeks?
Over. I don't think it's gonna happen at all.
All right, we got an over. I'm gonna go over as well. I think we'll get to at least 9 weeks.
I really want it to be over because I want to spend like as much time doing the actual show as I can. But realistically, I'm thinking it's gonna be under. I'm thinking maybe like 5 or 6 because Ohio's kind of on an upswing again.
I think I'm gonna go under as well because I think as soon as we start getting cases, then it'll be like, okay, well now we need to stop.
I mean, now not even the governor's safe, so like.
I know.
Ohio is just a messed up place. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
But we're not Florida, so.
I don't think it happens at all.
What? So like in the next 2 weeks, they nix it?
No, like I don't think. I think the semester goes through as like the entire way.
Oh, I see.
I think people are too determined for it to happen and too stubborn for it to happen to send people home.
So it's it's more like just an irresponsible like desire to keep it. Okay.
Kent State wants their money.
Well, any reason is valid. So now that we have officially we cemented our predictions for this, we'll revisit it eventually. Listen, whenever All Systems Go Home starts up again, that's when we'll go through it because that means it's shut down again.
Whoever is closest, do they win a prize?
Yeah, well, we have time to figure that out. So that's going to do it for this episode of All Systems Go Home. Thank you for sticking through. Let us know why you would not play any of the games we suggested. And be on the lookout for more content coming in the future.
Go to our Twitter page at All Systems Go TV2. I think if that's right. Let me double check. Yeah, never mind. At TV2 All Systems Go and answer the poll where I ask if Tetris is a puzzle game.
Answer the
Spoiler
most
alert,
pointless
it is.
poll ever.
It's okay. So I sent it to a different group chat I'm in, and it's already like very heavily favored that it is. But I'm still disagreeing.
Well, I think everyone was wrong on at least one thing today. So, that's part of life. Until next time, we are All Systems Go, and we are signing out. See ya.
Bye.
Adios.